Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Timeless Real Estate series. And of course, I'm Mr. Chukwumeka Obiazikwor, the MD of NeoHomes. I'm a father, I'm a mentor, and a leader at the same time. And before the title MD, I was a polytechnic librarian and at the same time a lecturer in a private polytechnic in Abuja. On this series, we'll be speaking on a whole lot. First and foremost is business discipline. And what is this business discipline all about? Having delayed gratification in business, taking hard decisions, right? Making sure you put the company first before any other person. Being highly disciplined in business transactions. And another point we'll be speaking on is legacy thinking, meaning what you're building will definitely outlive you. The vision is bigger than everybody. And this is what I keep on telling my team. What we're building is legacy, meaning it will definitely outlive us. And thirdly, long-term wealth building, because what you're building in real estate is long-term. Don't pursue short-term success, pursue long-term success. Satisfy this client so that they will be able to come back. They will be able to refer other people to come back, because one satisfied client is equivalent to 1,000 clients. So for how long you keep them satisfied, for that long they will keep on remaining and they will keep on referring other people. And lastly, in this episode is honest leadership conversation. As a leader, you face the hard truth. You take hard decisions. Your mood, your charisma cuts across everybody, affects everybody. Make sure you're always on high tone. Make sure you're always vibrant. Make sure you take the hard decision positively that will move the company forward. Leadership started long before the title. It began with responsibility, right? For me, leadership is ownership, taking responsibility and not shying away from it. Even when there are successes, when there are failures, you take responsibility and own it with your full chest without shying away. Leadership for me, again, is all about taking responsibility, whether the result comes positive or negative. My journey into real estate began, I would say, the year 2018, right? I started purchasing land quite very early, buying properties of far back then as low as 300,000, 400,000. And within 6 to a year, I saw how these properties I bought then were appreciating. It's over 300, 400, sometimes over 1,000%. So I started giving a deep thought, right? I can actually make resources from this kind of businesses, because I'm having massive return from my investment into real estate. And I went ahead, made a whole lot of research, went on YouTube, made research, watched those that were ahead of me, those that started investing into real estate. And I understood one thing: a whole lot of them started with low or even no resources at all. So I said, of course, me that started with a little resources mean I can actually do this and start it properly. That was where the idea of real estate came to be. And I told my wife, we did a whole lot of research on YouTube. I mentioned a whole lot of people I watched their story, the likes of Nola Adetola, the likes of Stephen Akintayo, the likes of Baraka Michelia, and a whole lot of them. I say, if these guys can do this, I can actually do this, right? And that was how I ventured into real estate the year 2023. And as you can see, the rest is history today. Funny enough, my first property I started with here in the city of Abuja was an area council land, and I was beaten badly, meaning, coming with full energy to start up a real estate company, got your first product, and the first product you got, you lost it because of wrong title. And that's why I tell people, before location, especially here in Abuja, title matters. If you get the title right, then of course you go for the location. So my first estate we launched at NeoHomes, we lost it because we got the wrong title, right? And that was where I started looking for mentors that will guide me properly before I started venturing into other projects, which I did successfully. But my first estate, I lost it. I lost a whole lot of money, but I didn't give up. I kept on pushing. Like I said prior, I got a mentor that guided me that here in Abuja, the best land titles you can have is FCDA land title. And that was what we've been doing to this very moment. After we lost the first estate, we went ahead to acquire the second estate. And as I always tell my staff, I told them that our second estate is actually our first estate. That was when we began the real estate journey, right? We got over 2 hectares in our Bevista estate in Kiami, right? And this is FCD approved estate. We did 100% due diligence. It has building approval. It was a buy and build estate. And that was where our journey truly began, right? And at that point, we can hit our hand in our chest and tell our prospect, our client, to go to ages and do their 100% due diligence before they can invest. And that was when we started getting it right. Learning never stops, because the moment you stop learning, the moment you stop adding knowledge, at that point you start dying. And for those that want to venture into real estate, like I said, for me, learning never stopped. My hand was burnt, but I didn't stop. I kept on seeking for knowledge so that I can be taking the right decision. Because the moment you have the right knowledge, it will guide you to take a better decision. And for your hands not to get burnt, I'm open for those that really want to learn from what I've gone through, my both the downside and the success part of NeoHomes and my journey in the real estate sector. I'm open for you guys to maybe come under my mentorship, and I will guide you from each processes, both on leadership, both on the right land titles you can get here in the city of Abuja. Because like I said prior, title is everything when it comes to investing in Abuja real estate before location. I repeat again, title is everything here in the city of Abuja before location, right? So I can guide you through, and I'm open to that. Lack of capital, because Abuja real estate is becoming capital intensive, right? And how was I able to overcome that? We developed a pattern where we can tell them, okay, they should give us payment plan for us to be able to meet up with this payment, right? And that was how we entered our first FCDA project here in Abuja. It was capital intensive. I can't mention the figures, but as at that point, I bet you we did not even have up to 20% of the total money that was asked. But we find our way, made them to understand that if you give us certain time frame, we will be able to raise the full funds and get the payments done. So your negotiating power matters a lot, because real estate is capital intensive, but the moment you know that you can negotiate your way through it, right, you'll be able to enter major projects with lesser amount. But what I always tell people is make sure you keep to your own side of the sales agreement, right? So it's capital intensive, but we overcame it by negotiating our initial instrumental payment, and it was spread across 6 months. And before 6 months, we were able to pay up the balance of the total hectares we had in our first FCDA estate. Our first clients in our first FCDA estate were numbers of some medical professionals that came and they bought in bulk. But before they started purchasing, they did 100% due diligence. We went to ages, they brought out the legal search, they searched, they want to see this agreement between the original lottee and those we bought from to ourselves. And we made everything transparent, and they saw it. And that period, they bought over 11 plots and paid outrightly. So it was the turning moment for us at NeoHomes. For us at NeoHomes, integrity is our watchword, right? Because once a client is satisfied with your services and they're 100% assured of the product they bought from you, they will come back again. if you have that integrity, and client satisfaction is 100% what we pursue here. Another principle is transparency in transaction, meaning being able to be transparent in all our dealings, from how we acquired the property to who we acquired from to how the deed was transferred to us, and that will make all these processes open for our client to be assured and have trust in what they are investing into. Another principle for us is a well-structured payment system where we have payment plan that will be able to help you spread your payments in NeoHomes. So we have well-structured payment system here in NeoHomes. And another principle for us is we have long-term reputation over short-term goal, meaning we want to make sure we keep on satisfying you, not necessarily for us to start making profit out of it, no, but our goal is for you to be with us for a very long time, because we know that one satisfied client is equivalent to 1,000 clients. If you're satisfied with what we are pursuing, if you're satisfied with our services currently, we know that you will be with us for a very long term. So in NeoHomes, we are not pursuing short-term goal. No, we are pursuing long-term reputation. And if you check reputation and integrity, because we keep to our words, integrity is our watchword. We don't and we will never joke with our reputation here in NeoHomes. Before NeoHomes came, already I was a leader because I was lecturing, and at the same time I was a polytechnic librarian. But even at that point, the sense of ownership can't be compared to what we are doing now, because directly you're leading a well-structured company. So sometimes you take hard decision. So currently leadership for me, from my years of experience, is taking responsibility. Sometimes you take hard decisions just to make sure you the organization keeps on moving forward, because a whole lot lies in your decision taking, because you're building legacies. People's investments are currently on your shoulders, and their investment must be protected. So for me, currently leadership is taking hard decisions even when it does not favor you. Leadership is motivating and keeping your team morals high at every point in time, right? Leadership for me is, of course, taking responsibility, hard responsibilities, hard decision makings, because first and foremost, you're the visionary of this company, and what you're pursuing is far bigger than you. And the moment you take the decision, you make them understand that the decision you're taking is not just strictly for you, but because of where the company is headed for. And the vision, like I said, is bigger than each and every one of us. So leadership is taking hard decisions. Leadership is taking ownership. Leadership is taking responsibility for every action that is taken in the organization. One leadership mistake that has shaped me the most, right, is delaying in taking hard decisions, right? And as a leader, you must take some hard knock decisions for you to be able to move your organization to the next level, right? Like I said, as a leader, nobody is indispensable, including yourself, right? So you should be able to take some hard decisions. And a lot of times I've delayed in taking some drastic measures, some drastic decisions that will move this company forward, because I was being emotional instead of being logical and tackling the problem, right? So that has shaped me a lot to start taking hard decision and very decisive decision, because first and foremost, we check our vision, where we're headed for. Does this fall in line with where we're headed for? If it does not fall in line, take that hard decision. That makes you a leader, and cut that out. Take decision that will move the company forward, not decision that will, of course, maybe follow your emotions and all that. Sometimes in leadership, you take hard knock decisions, you take logical decisions, and not necessarily emotional decisions. When you're being logical, you take hard decisions. When you're being emotional, you take weak decisions. And that is, for me, how leadership should operate, by taking hard decisions, logical decisions. That will move the organization forward. 3 years I've started NeoHomes, I've come to understand that foundation matters a lot more than speed. How depth you've built matters a lot, because that is what will sustain your growth, right? And here comes me thinking about delayed gratification. You know, when you see a lot of people ventured into real estate after 1, 2, 3 years, they've started showing off and all that. But something you should always understand is the moment you have delayed gratification, of course, you need those stuffs, but not necessarily at this point. So what you should focus more on is building quietly, building deeply, having a solid foundation that will carry what you're building in the future. If your foundation is weak, of course, you can carry that vision beyond just few years. So that is why I tell people, build your foundation strongly, have a deep and depth foundation that will be able to carry you long, far, right? And I've mentioned delayed gratification, right? Across every business, not just real estate, delayed gratification matters. Even when you have the resources, stay calm, stay quiet, keep on building, right? And it will help you achieve success faster and quicker. Another point here is patience and timing in real estate. Like I said, they go in pari passu, right? Timing in real estate matters, right? Being able to know the right time to acquire property matters a lot. Where to acquire this property matters a lot. If you get the timing right, just know that you're sitting on a fortune that will last for a generation. Let me use a case study of those that started investing in Karisama before the road construction you're seeing they started. Those that saw the vision knew the right time that, okay, this is the right time for us to key into this at a lower entry point. And currently those that bought 150 square meter for as low as 4.something million, 150 square meter currently in Karisama is over 20 million. And this is just within 2 years. So timing and be patient. The moment you get the timing right, be patient. Why? Because it will definitely come. And that is what real estate is all about. That is what real estate is all about. Patience, timing, and of course, delayed gratification, just for me to sum everything up. As a leader in the real estate sector, you're leading a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people. And that as a leader, you should be able to have emotional intelligence to be able to guide these people, to know what to say, to know when to say it, and to know how to say it, right? And this is what makes you a good leader, right? And of course, what we are building is beyond us. The vision is far bigger than each and every one of us. And I communicate this to our team. Nobody is indispensable. Nobody is indispensable. Anybody can go at any point because this vision is bigger than myself, the MD. This vision is bigger than the ED. This vision is bigger than each and every one of us, because what we are building will definitely outlive us. We are building legacies that will stand and last for the test of time. Every young entrepreneur that wants to enter the real estate sector, first you must have integrity, build reputation, because that is what will sustain you through the test of time. Because there's a saying that says, once bitten, twice shy. If you cheat someone once, the person won't come back. And what will keep you in this business is integrity. You have, the moment you lose that integrity, that moment your company start dying. Because aside from that, a satisfied client, one satisfied client, two satisfied client, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 satisfied clients is equivalent to over 1,000 clients. And that is what will sustain your business for a very long term. So another point for me is for you to learn the industry very well, right? Because when you have the right knowledge, you can take better decisions. When you have the right information, you can take better decisions. And in this industry is quite deep. So going deep and depth in knowledge seeking, right, will help you take better decisions, because people are investing in their hard-earned resources into your company, meaning you're helping them take informed decisions. So any development, any product you're acquiring, you're keying into, and you're bringing investors into it, make sure you have good product knowledge. Make sure you know what you're going into. Make sure you have depth knowledge of Abuja real estate, because these are hard-earned resources of people, and they are bringing these resources to invest into your company. So it's your duty to help them take better decisions, because they will trust you. You get information, you take better decisions, and they trust you and key into whatever decision you've taken. So you shouldn't allow their hard-earned resources go down the drain. So seek knowledge, depth knowledge about the real estate sector here in Abuja, right? And it will help you to scale. Then another point here for me is you structure before you scale, because where there's no structure, there's going to be chaos. Structure your company to the very point where everything, all the processes, all the systems are in place. This is what will help you to scale faster. And you can't do away with that structure if you want to scale. Put systems, put structures in place. Have your accountants, have your front desk, have your sales department, have your media people, have your brand people, right? This is what will help your brand and your organization to scale faster. Don't allow every decision to come from your team. Of course, you will run out of gas and you will be exhausted so fast. So put the systems, put the structures in place, and it will help you to scale. And lastly, I want to advise every young entrepreneur that is coming up to avoid shortcuts. Every greatness you see today, a price must be paid, right? Don't think you get into it within 1-2 years, you started seeing success. No, don't avoid shortcut as much as possible. Keep on building, keep on paying the price, right? Seek knowledge, get mentors that will guide you through, right? And of course, you should think generational words, think generational. Don't think fast lane, quick success, fast success, that it will bring you down shorter. So think generational and think long term. So another point on this series is industry reality. The challenges we are faced with in this industry is enormous, and how can you navigate it and become successful without giving excuse? Of course, one of the challenges is lack of funding, and is a major challenge for us in this industry. But the moment you start getting it right, that's why I said, look long term, have delayed gratification, because getting funding is hard, right? So you should start building your resources first by having delayed gratification. Save, and save your way through, right? At that point, you become a big player in the industry by saving your way through, right? Of course, you can get investors and all that, but there are a whole lot of it, right? But what I said, this industry reality is majorly lack of funding, but you can navigate your way by having delayed gratification and saving your way through to the top. There's been not just a moment, series of moments I've doubted this journey, because this vision is far bigger than me, right? But there's a driving force behind what am I pursuing while leaving legacies, building legacies that will definitely outlive us. We are reducing housing deficit here in the city of Abuja and in Nigeria as a whole. Of course, the vision is what drives us. We are selling value to people, making people to have massive return on their various investment through real estate channel, right? And this is what we do. This is my driving force. This is what wakes me up every morning, and I still have that passion to go, even when I know the journey is always difficult, but that is my driving force. We are reducing housing deficit. We are building legacies that will definitely outlive myself as the MD of NeoHomes.